Stop. I'm really tired of non-Indigenous peoples making commentaries about Indigenous Australia because we've spent yourself included, we have spent 230 years of not being included in this constitution. We share sovereignty with the Crown. The Queen still owns some of our traditional lands. We're still begging to protect sacred sites that are over 80,000 years old. From mining companies, from gas companies. We want to be the author of our own destinies. We want to be the voice because we are tired of non-Indigenous Australia thinking they know what is good for us and thinking that they can be the voice for Aboriginal Australia. So they should all learn to keep their mouths shut and start engaging Aboriginal Australia into the conversation.
Listen to this, scam, you guys. Listen to this, scam, and you be the judge of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, we're all being lied to about everything. We're literally all being lied to about everything. But check this out.
Just to give people an idea of how much energy it takes to charge an electric vehicle. I'm at Electrify America. This is a 350 kilowatt station. I'm consuming roughly 137 kilowatts. It'll fluctuate. Sometimes I can go up to the full 50. But to put this into perspective, an average home consumes 1.25 kilowatts per hour. 135 kilowatts per hour, it's like the equivalent of 106 homes on the grid, just this one station. Now, if I was going to get the full 350 kilowatts like these can supply, that would be the equivalent of 280 homes. Now think about all 6 chargers running at full capacity. That's like 1,080 homes on the grid. Just a little food for thought. It's things, people don't realize the amount of energy it takes to fast charge these batteries. It's a huge amount of electricity, and now you understand why the electric companies can't even supply that much power to one spot. It's like, think of 1,600 homes and how much copper and wire that would take to supply that many houses.
So he says so much electricity to power these things, right? But not just electricity, high levels of radiation. You guys hear that?
Off the charts.
That's the radiation meter.
Here to show you guys how much EMF. This thing's just going crazy.
You guys see the symptoms?
So high, shouldn't even be standing here. But as people charge their car, that radiation cooks the body. That's why they're pushing this. Now, what's interesting is we look around here, and it's just an open parking lot. So there's no towers, but this whole system is all linked up to the towers. And each car is also acting like a tower, emitting harmful.
This right here is literally the definition of out of sight, out of mind. Just because you don't see it, it's out of your mind, so you're not worried about it. All coming back to harm you because, I mean, I guarantee you the elites don't have no electric cars, you know what I'm saying? They're not sitting in no radiation vehicles sitting there for hours upon hours. Have y'all seen how long they take to charge them? Look at that, 8.5 to 11 hours. Look at that, 12 hours, 15 hours. That's crazy, y'all. Sitting there for getting cooked by that for entertainment purposes only, of course. I see why Tesla and all electric vehicles are going down now. People are finally catching on to the scam.
A lot. I mean, you look at ancient Egypt, we're lied to about that history. We're lied to about the pyramids. We don't even look at some of the hieroglyphs that would indicate whether it's fiction or nonfiction that they simulated extraterrestrials and spaceships. But yeah, I mean, this is just a logical thing to me. What kind of an entity, because it's not human, would want to end Earth, but then claim they're saving Earth as they're ending Earth?
Right, exactly. And actually, I missed it, but that is beautiful that you were on that because it shows.
No, literally, that's incredible. That's like total symbiosis here.
Yes, yes, yes. And I think people need to take that more serious. You know, I think we've allowed the mainstream media to make that seem like a jokeful topic or like a topic we shouldn't take serious. But if people actually think about it, think about the intelligence that it takes to map out the electromagnetic pathways of the latitude and longitude lines, use that to actually interconnect people's biofields, track people's movement, track people's biometric data, and then integrate that with the artificial information system, such as the public school system, genetically modified foods, some animals are genetically engineered, trees, I hope people don't think the trees on the sidewalk are real trees. Those are genetically engineered trees too. Chemtrails, just a complete alteration of the earth. And I think people need to actually realize that we live in a habitat that is artificially generated, just like the pets in your house. So we go to the zoo and we see the animals in the zoo, and we don't realize that when we leave the zoo, we're going back to our own cage. And people need to realize that what you're eating and what you're seeing and what you're experiencing is no less controlled than is a no less controlled experience than what the animals in the zoo are experiencing. We're not eating real food. They're not eating real food. We're not living in our natural habitat. They're not living in their natural habitat. We're not drinking clean water. They're not drinking clean water. We're not breathing clean oxygen. They're not breathing clean oxygen. We're being told what to do for a living, or we're punished. And if we do tap into our natural instinct to defend ourselves, we're put down. Same thing with animals. So if you honestly compare the 24-hour day cycle of the average human to a lion in the zoo, there honestly is no difference. The only difference is the human has the potential to develop the awareness to wake up and step out of the cycle. The lion may or may not be able to do that without our help.
But the difference there, though, is the lion, you can see the lion go to the edge of the cage and get stopped. The human doesn't realize they get to the edge of the cage until they get to the edge of the cage, getting censored off the internet, getting canceled by CPAC, having the government come after you, whatever the case may be. That's when you get to the edge of the cage. That's when it's like, whoa, here's the edge. Here's what I'm not allowed to do. And that's when people can make the choice to either press on and question the cage or go slink back into the cage, into their comfort zone. But, you've actually talked about this in the past, and you're talking about clean water now, the pineal gland. I mean, our pineal gland is totally calcified. It's from the fluoride in the water. It's from the chemicals in the air. And so, but it's just like another, so how does young Pharaoh escape from this? How do you promote to your audience how to escape from this and try to remain human? Because I'm all about, that's the crazy thing about that is that used to be what InfoWars would talk about most of the time, but our audience is so big now and they want the political news. And so it's like, I kind of have to stay on like level 3 to kind of reach the audience and to get people to understand, here's level 3, so that if you get to level 4, 5, 6, 7, and beyond, you actually have got the level 3 information to kind of go to where you're talking about. The whole earth is under a synthetic attack.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm pretty straight to the point. I don't really sugarcoat the SHIT. I'm very aware of, underground facilities and things like that. I'm aware of, deals that the government has made with extraterrestrials. If you know anything about Philip Schneider, Arizona Wilder, or, just any whistleblower, unless people been living under a rock, their whole life, you should have seen some of these things. Stephen Greer in 2001 did the Disclosure Project, which was the world's biggest disclosure event on extraterrestrials that got no media coverage. So, I could literally go down the list of people with actual credentials who have blew this up. So, here's what it comes down to. Some, and this is from my personal experience, right? Let me use my life as a personal example. I was in prison before, which I have no problem admitting. Yes, it was for a crime that I did not commit. Probably most black people are in jail for crime they did not commit. But I'm gonna give y'all my story. When you in prison, right, is 2 people on a unit. Both of them is the people that everybody's scared of. One is the person who do good by everybody. The other one is the person who do evil by everybody. So basically, you got God and the devil. Depending upon which one of them likes you and which one of them dislikes you is going to determine your prison experience if you a weaker man. So let me give y'all the hierarchy, and then I'm going to apply this to life. You have the weakest person, you have the weaker person, you have the weak person. Now you have 3 categories of weakness. Then you got strength. Strength only got 2 categories, strong and stronger. And whoever's stronger is always going to be the strongest. Now you take that and you apply that to good and evil. There is somebody on this planet that is very good and that is very strong. There is somebody on this planet that is very evil and that is very strong. So we need to move all of the pawns out of the way. We need to move all of the government out of the way and say, what is on this planet that is the most strongest evil entity, and we need to kill it. Straight up. Let's just get all the games out the way. Who is causing all the depression? If you believe in the devil, we need to find, and I'm gonna say this about the Satanists, right? Satanists worship Satan. Now, whether we believe Satan is real, whether we believe Satan is an extraterrestrial, we can debate that later. Let's just say Satan. Satan, by his own origin story, is on the planet Earth causing hell. Long story short. So what we need to do is we need to label all of the Satanists terrorists, because you are worshiping the entity that you even acknowledge is here to cause chaos. So we need to first round up all of the Satanists, round up all of the Luciferians, and tell them, show us your leader. And if you do not have a leader, then that means it was you. And if you do have a leader, then we need to kill your leader. Period. We need to find who is the evilest person on the planet. I don't care if he black, I don't care if he white, I don't care if he an alien. Who is the evilest person on the planet? Let's kill him. Period.
There is also something that I keep seeing people do, and they're like, I gave notice. Judges don't have to respond to notice. The only thing that judges or any other government officials have to respond to are affidavits of disqualification and demand. That's it. They also must respond to lawsuits, federal lawsuits where they are a party. So that's what else they have to respond to. But they don't have to respond to an affidavit, and affidavit of truth, and they do not have to respond to notice. You can put them on notice until your face turns blue. They don't have to respond to that. When you're in court and when you want to do something that counts, do something that counts. Turn in your disqualification immediately. Once you turn in your disqualification, do not go back into the court. Block the attorney's phone number, block whoever's phone number you need to block. Do not go into court. If they send you letters, if they send you stuff in the mail, do not go to court. Do not go to court. Figure out how to do a writ of prohibition to stop them from harassing you. But once you send them that statement of disqualification, they already are on notice that they do not have jurisdiction, so you do not have to go.
I'm trying to simplify this for you. Grab your social security card. Look at the back. There's going to be a red letter followed by 8 numbers. That red letter is going to correspond with the Federal Reserve Bank. There are only 12 banks. Look at the banks. Look at the letter. Whoever's letter you have, that's the bank that owns your account. These letters are also on money.
Do you have a jurisdictional argument you want to make?
Well, I served notice.
Sir, it's a yes or no. Do you have a jurisdictional argument you'd like to make today?
I have a
yes or no.
Why are you forcing me to say answer?
Because I'm running the courtroom and it's the way I want to do it. Do you have a jurisdictional argument you'd like to make today?
I do, yes.
Then make it. What's your jurisdictional argument?
I'm presenting myself. So I need to know, Article 6 of the Constitution grants me the right to know what jurisdiction is this court operating up under?
State of Michigan.
No, what jurisdiction?
State of Michigan.
Okay, what jurisdiction is the state of
District
Michigan?
courts are legislative courts. That means they're created by statute. The state of Michigan gives me my jurisdiction.
So, okay, is that
I work under the authority of the state of Michigan.
What is it? Under what jurisdiction? There's 2 different jurisdictions under the Constitution. You have admiralty and common law. So I'll need to know.
This is not admiralty.
What is it?
And it's not common law. It's statutory.
Okay, so it's statutory. That is what, civil?
No.
So what is it?
My jurisdiction is both civil.
I can't defend myself unless I.
My jurisdiction.
It's only 2.
Sure. Shut up. If you ask me a question, I can't answer what you're talking.
Okay, cool.
My jurisdiction is both civil and criminal as provided by the statutes of the state of Michigan.
Okay, so today, under which one is
this? Is a criminal case.
Okay, right. So is that common law or admiralty?
It's statute. It's neither common law or admiralty.
It's one or the other. It don't say statute.
All right, then you can appeal my ruling. My ruling is it's neither admiralty or common law.
So this is you say it's criminal for the record.
Yes.
Okay, and if it's criminal, in order for a crime to exist, there must be an injured party, for the record, right?
There must be what?
An injured party.
Yeah, it's the people of the state of Michigan.
All right, so if the people of the state of Michigan, right, where's the sworn statement?
Where's what?
A sworn statement. I have a right to see a sworn statement saying I injured someone.
There's a complaint in the file.
Sworn complaint, signed,
you want to see it?
Affidavit, sworn affidavit?
No, it's not. I don't think it's an affidavit.
Well, okay, so.
You said you wanted a sworn complaint.
From an injured party. Who have I injured, for the record?
The state of Michigan
How can I
are bringing the charges.
How can I injure the
Sir,
state?
sit down. Sit down.
I'm not.
Sit down, or I will hold you in contempt.
Another threat. Wow.
You're probably going to hear more than one.
I see.
All right. I am ruling that I have jurisdiction. You are free to appeal that to the circuit court. Proceed. Do the people have a witness they'd like to call in the exam?
Yes, Judge. The people are prepared to move forward. Just as a quick preliminary matter, we'd request a mutual order of sequestration with an exception for the OIC.
All right.
So again,
I'm not asking you to talk. Ma'am, are you a possible witness in this case? Okay. All right. And would you mind putting your name on the record, please? Counsel, I want to look at the lady. Would you mind putting your name on the record?
she's a witness. She is a witness.
Sir, you speak again when I haven't asked you to, and you're in contempt. And we'll deal with that first. The reason I need your name is because if you appear somewhere down the road and want to testify, we have to know that today you were in the courtroom. And I can't do that by taking a picture of you, so I'm asking you to state your name. Sir, you are in contempt of court. That's a $100 fine. Speak again when it's not your turn, and I'll continue to up the ante. Clear? You can speak now. I've asked you a question.
I object.
I don't give a shit if you object. Is it clear what I said? I'm waiting for an answer.
I said I object. What am I supposed to say?
I want to know if you understand you've just been fined $100 for contempt.
I don't understand.
Okay, well, you still owe me $100.
Another judge runs from the Sixth Amendment.
And it'll answer, well, close to 1,000 pages. It has those questions outlined in there. You're expected to know
Are
that.
those Michigan court rules, is that statutory law?
I'm not going to keep going back and forth with you, sir. All I'm going to do, lastly, she has a valid driver's license, counsel. All I'm going to do, lastly, is give you the dates that we have.
Your Honor, there is no international contract. I mean, we've asked the prosecutor to produce an international contract that would bind me to this statutory proceeding. And I'm not aware of any contract. In the absence of such contract, I motion that we dismiss this case.
I've already
Yes.
dismissed that motion.
Yeah.
You can move to the circuit court and you can appeal my decision as it relates to that. File a motion. I'm going to give you a date. I'm going to give you a date where that motion is going to have to be due. I will entertain that. I'll give the people a date on their response if they choose to respond.
I do not wish to continue or delay this any further. There has been no evidence presented to substantiate any kind of jurisdiction in this case. This is our second time. I've asked for this the first time, and there's been no evidence of any jurisdiction. And I don't understand why, you're insisting on, moving to another court date, and we have not addressed this very basic and fundamental issue of jurisdiction. Well, I mean, I don't understand why we are delaying this any further.
We don't have to delay it any further. I can put a warrant out for your arrest.
Under what grounds? Under what basis are you putting a warrant out for my arrest? And you
I didn't say I was going to put a warrant. I said if you're telling the court that you're not going to come back to any court dates, then that's up to you.
I don't wish to delay this any further. There has been no proof of jurisdiction. There is no live injured party. I mean, there's a claim that the city of Detroit is an injured party, but I'm not aware of any international agreements or contracts that I've entered into with the city of Detroit. And the prosecutor can't provide that.
And it seems like there's a bias going on here because flat on his face, the prosecutor hasn't even spoken on this issue. And you just insist that we move to another court date. And I don't understand. I mean, your oath of office is to uphold the Constitution.
What you're saying in essence, right? What you're saying in essence is that I don't have any authority.
I'm asking you to prove your authority.
I'm
asking you to prove your authority. I'm trying to understand where your authority is coming from. And you're failing.
Read the Michigan court rules, read your statutes, read the Constitution over again, and you'll find that.
As I said before, I'm not asking you for legal advice or where
to go. And the Michigan Constitution.
You have, if you have a legitimate jurisdiction, I'm asking you, is it a criminal jurisdiction under statutory law, or is it under the common law?
All right, we're gonna give him a trial.
And you will not answer that question.
Well, we'll give him a jury trial date.
Wow.
August 9th, 2022.
Your Honor, we cannot proceed until I understand the nature and cause of the action against me.
I'm gonna say this one last time to you, sir. Go, and if you want to speak to the court, if you have any objection to the court and these dates, and if you don't feel that these dates are lawful, and if you, whatever your claim is that you're stating, you speak to the court through motions. And I want that, and those motions that you're entertaining on the record right now, I've dismissed some of them already. I want you to file those motions with the court.
Under no basis
so that the court can read your motion and make a ruling and give the city attorney an opportunity to respond. If you do it the proper way, you might learn something. Even if they show you documentation like it is in black and white, you're not going to believe that anyway.
I still have this same question that you keep failing to answer, and without that question being understood,
and that's it. I'm done talking about it. Okay, that's it. So I'm going to send
let the record show that the judge has refused.
Listen, sir, don't interrupt me again. Okay? Don't interrupt me again. Let's set a motion date for.
I do not consent.
Please do not say anything else, sir. I know you said.
Okay. Sir, I'm exercising my Sixth Amendment right. The Sixth Amendment, exercise of an amendment right cannot be converted into a crime, sir.
I'm holding you in contempt of court, sir.
As I stated before, I'm trying to understand the jurisdiction of the court.
I'm not going to deal with you. You're going to jail.
Pursuant to
I'm holding your client. Well, Mr. Berry, you are, I guess, not representing this client because this client is probably. Do you want the representation of a lawyer, sir, at this point now, sir? Because now you're looking at 30 days in the Wayne County Jail. Do you want the representation or not?
Please let the record show that I have attempted to understand the jurisdiction of this court, and this court has refused me that answer. And apparently, it is a jurisdiction only understood to bar members and licensed attorneys. And this is a direct violation of the Constitution, and I do not consent. I do not agree. Your Honor, I do not wish to be held in contempt.
It's too late.
I've merely asked a very basic, simple question, and you have refused to answer it. I feel as though the court is trying to constrain me to an unfair plea in absence of my understanding of the nature and cause of the action against me.
I'm going to order you to report to the Wayne County Jail today.
I do not accept.
Sir, please don't. I told you don't say. I'm going to add some more days if you keep on talking. You already got 30 days.
I don't understand, sir.
I'm adding more if you keep on talking. Please do not say anything else. It says here, after the court determines whether criminal or civil contempt proceedings are appropriate, the court must determine whether the contempt was direct or indirect. If the contempt was committed during its sitting and in the immediate view and presence of the court, the contempt is direct, and the court may summarily make a finding of contempt and punish the contempt. So I'm determining that this is criminal intent, the contempt. I am determining that it was done during the sitting of the court. On the record now, I've asked the young man, Mr. Jamil Lockhart, or as he has on here, Jamil of the family Lockhart, to continually not interrupt. The court is trying to set dates so that Mr. Lockhart's motions, if he wants to, or any of his pleadings could be preserved.